Konnichiwa mina, boku wa Jeremy desu. Yoroshiku onegai shimasu. And today it was Sailor Moon Crystal episode Act 25, Showdown, Death Phantom, and we had the biggest deviation from this particular arc yet. And I mean, we had something similar. There was another deviation in the original first 13 episodes of the Queen Beryl arc with the Shiteno, and it was interesting the way they did things. But let's start from the beginning. So basically, it started where everything ended off last episode, where Prince Demand had the two silver crystals in his hands, and he was about to put them together and destroy the world. Everybody's just kind of standing there, not really, like, obviously the Senshi were out of it. King Endymion couldn't really do anything because he's a hologram. Tuxedo Command was completely out of it, and yeah, Luna and Artemis, and Black Lady. So Sailor Pluto takes it upon herself to commit the ultimate sin, the ultimate taboo, which was to stop time, as she was told as little girl by Queen Serenity not to do, because it could cost her life, basically. It could cost her life. It could. We gotta remember that. Obviously, and here's a spoiler, if you've seen Sailor Moon S and all that stuff, Pluto comes back. But, and there's a lot of the death and rebirth thing between Saturn and Pluto, but that comes later. Anyway, I wasn't sure how they were going to do it. I mean, they were very, very close to the way the manga depicted it, and even the way the musical did it, too. It was very, very similar to that. Usagi just bawling over the fact that Sailor Pluto died. It really hits you. It does. It tugs at your heartstrings. Oh, excuse me. But what I really liked was when Pluto stopped time and you could see that little power of hers release, and it one by one it released everybody, like the good guys from the time freeze. So the cats, the Senshi, Tuxedo Command, Black Lady and stuff, all like that too. But King Endymion, if you notice, wasn't affected by it in the first place. Again, he's a hologram though, right? So it kind of makes sense. So Pluto commits this ultimate act of treason, but really what she's doing is she's saving everybody. This is what she was essentially born to do, kind of like Sailor Saturn is born to die, kind of, which is horrible. Really horrible. So she's laying there, and it bothers me, and I always keep meaning to say this, like the last couple episodes. Am I the only one that it bothers that Sailor Pluto's earrings are like bigger than her actual ears? They're like massive. Like, what the hell were they thinking when they drew them? Even in the manga, yes, they look kind of big, but they're still not that huge. Anyway, it's kind of like Diana's eyes. I don't know. Diana just, I don't know. Even though she moves very similarly to my kitten, Fong, but yeah. So one by one, Pluto's talking to everybody, and oh, I am so sorry. And she brings up the fact that the king has this lavender cape, just like a sunrise, and then the way they color it and stuff, it looks really great. The aesthetics of this episode were astonishingly well done. Very much like watching a Ghibli film, basically. All the backgrounds are wonderful. It's just the characterizations that are all weird. But Pluto's death was very, very sad, and it's the catalyst that snaps Black Lady back into being Chibiusa, brings forth the silver crystal. It's like there's a third silver crystal almost, the way they depict it, kind of. It's very confusing, sort of, because, I mean, Usagi's got the two, and then all of a sudden there's one born from Chibiusa's tear, and the tear, actually, as it comes by, you see Chibiusa in it, if you pay close attention, and that was really neat, too. And then she's all happy, and this is exactly how they did it in the musical. She's all happy that she was able to transform, and runs over to Pluto. It's like she doesn't realize, like there's a slight change, I don't know, disconnect between Black Lady and Chibiusa. Like they're the same person. They know what's going on, but Chibiusa runs over. She's Sailor Chibi Moon. She's all excited, kind of like a child normally would be, and then she realizes that Pluto's dead and not moving and won't open her eyes, and just horrible, and that's the catalyst that causes Usagi to transform back into Sailor Moon. And what I really like too is that they actually gave Chibiusa a transformation sequence that was actually pretty decent. And the last time that she had one about, just as long was in the Sailor Moon S movie, because she never actually was given a solo transformation that actually lasted longer than a couple of seconds in the original anime. Like, just the movie did. And then, of course, Super S came along and she transformed with Usagi, but I don't know. I don't know why they did it that way, especially since S focused a lot on her and so on. Anyway, so Black Lady turns back into Chibiusa. I love the fact that Diana had such a close connection to Pluto as well. Diana's like the connection, sort of, because there's like a triad, I guess. Diana and Chibiusa are close. Diana and Pluto are close. Chibiusa and Diana are close. So it's... Wait, did I say that? Chibiusa and Pluto are close. Diana and Pluto and Chibiusa and Diana. There we go. That's what I meant. So all that there. Now, there is a lot of kind of, again, the control and like almost a rape undertone in terms of the way that Wise Man talks about the planet and how he's basically, it's all in his control. He's going to have his way with it. Like the words that they choose, I don't know if it's just the subtitles or whatnot, it's just, there's that whole weird underlying kind of strange thing there throughout this whole series. Never really paid much attention to it, but yeah. Now, the biggest deviation, absolute biggest one, was the fact that Prince Demand, like Usagi or Sailor Moon and Tuxedo Commander are going to, they're using their power, because obviously the space is warping, but even before space warps, Prince Demand, in the manga, he's like, if I'm going to be killed by Wise Man, then I'll do it myself. And Sailor Moon and Tuxedo Command use their power to kill Prince Demand. But in this one, in Sailor Moon Crystal, in the episode, it was they plus all of the Senshi did their attacks, which was phenomenal to see. I don't think anybody was expecting that, which is great, because those surprises are lots of fun. Just like when they announced the voice actresses for Sailor Moon S, kind of like I figured they would do. And Zach, you figured it too, at Anime Expo. But we'll get to that another time. It was great. I mean, Shine Aqua Illusion, Burning Mandala, oh god, I just watched it. What was Jupiter's again? And I should know this. Sparkling Wide Pressure and Venus Love Me Chain. Gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm so tired. It's like almost 4 in the morning. And, just seeing all that and everybody combining their powers, it's kind of like a Sailor Planet attack without them actually saying it. It was just great. It was very, very good to see, very epic, and that's exactly what you want in an episode like this. And I just saw Jurassic World last night too, so seeing one epic thing and another epic thing, it's just epicness, total overload, and it's great. And I can't be more excited about it unless I was more awake. Sorry, but no, it was great. And then it looked like that was the end of Death Phantom. It's all quiet. They're kind of going back and forth eerily, like one of those kind of, I don't know, horror movie things, and you just know, like, you just feel it, that something's not right. And then Prince Demand jumps in and stops the sudden surprise attack that's coming at them. His excuse is, I'm going to be the one to kill her, you don't get the chance to do it, but it's funny that he steps in to protect them. And Death Phantom shows his power and shows that, he is the one in control, and ultimately it is Prince Demand's darkness inside that consumes him, basically, his jealousy and his lust for power. And I think it was more fitting of an end than the way they did it in the manga. I liked how they did that little twist there. That was great. Then all the other events start happening where they end up everything's getting warped, they end up getting pulled down, and they meet the actual Death Phantom, which is this really creepy face thing that still reminds me of the one that Hosoji Mizuki and Amakusa Shiroto Kisara have in Samurai Spirits. So, finally, Wise Man actually grew a pair of balls. You could tell because he doesn't have that incredibly high voice anymore, and they finally dropped. So, there you go. Now, everybody's facing off. Chibiusa, or Sailor Chibi Moon, is standing there wondering, will I be able to do this one day? Will I be able to face my fears and my enemies just as Sailor Moon is doing? And all these things that are happening, like it's all coming to a close. It's going to be a nicely wrapped kind of an ending in the next and final episode of Sailor Moon Crystal. Now, that we know of. They still haven't made any announcements yet. A lot of people felt that they were trolled by the alleged announcement that was going to be made at the Sailor Moon event the other day, but the event was just to celebrate Usagi and Chibiusa's birthday on June the 30th. That makes sense. Now, they have finally released the pictures of the witches, Professor Tomoe, and Kaori Knight in the musicals. I have not seen a picture of Mistress Nine yet. I don't know if she'll be in it, because remember, the Ayakashi sisters weren't in the last one. So, Kevin, thank you for showing me those pictures. So, we've seen that. There's a lot of Sailor Moon musical-related news, a lot of birthday stuff. Viz Media just announced a bunch of stuff. So maybe it's all timed, maybe because there's all this stuff going on in North America, maybe they really want to have it at a time where there's, they'll have the time to make a big announcement, or maybe they're waiting until the last episode to be like, hey, guess what? It's continuing. Maybe not right away, maybe they're going to wait, maybe we'll have to wait another year, who knows? But there is merchandising out there for Sailor Moon S and Stars. I'm not sure about Super S. I haven't seen any Pegasus stuff around, but someone pointed out to me that there is Stars stuff out there. So that's interesting. I don't know really what to make of it. Now, I was looking at the actresses they chose for Sailor Moon S English dub Viz. A lot of them are what I would consider unknowns, or not big name ones, like, Vic Mignogna, Johnny Young Bosch. They're like big name actors and stuff. Laura Bailey, they do a lot of stuff, but what I would really enjoy about Viz's dubs is that they're bringing in not necessarily big name people, like really big name, they're giving other people a chance. And I know Professor Tomoe is going to be voiced by the guy that does, I'm like, okay, I kind of recognize his name. It's because he plays Kenji Tsukino, Usagi's father, in the new English dub of Sailor Moon as well. So he's now going to be playing Professor Tomoe. So hopefully he can change his voice enough that it doesn't sound exactly the same. But it's kind of funny because in the first one, they had the same lady, Barbara Radecki, played Sailor Neptune and Ikuko. So it's funny that now it's Kenji and Tomoe. I don't know. I find funny parallels that way, I suppose. I don't know. Okay. Yeah. So we're getting lots of Sailor Moon news in all different facets of things, and it's really amazing to see. Now, what I would really like to see is an English adaptation of the Materials Collection art book, which I really hope comes out at some point, maybe when the series is fully dubbed into English, maybe when Sailor Moon Crystal or whatever comes out, when everything finishes. I don't want anything to finish. I'd love for them to even come out with a brand new story after Sailor Stars. Maybe new movies, that would be great. But let's just hope that with the new series, the animation is better. The other thing, too, to consider is that maybe they won't just continue it online. Maybe they're pitching something to be strictly on television, because, Sailor Moon Crystal is now on television in Japan, and it stands to reason that they would want to continue that. Maybe the online thing was a little experiment, maybe it didn't work out so well, I don't know. Ratings don't necessarily count for dick all when it comes to online stuff yet, because it's not quite taken off yet, but who knows. Yeah, so I really like this episode. I'm looking forward to the next one. I'm really sad that Sailor Pluto's gone, but we did see some images of her in the next one, so who knows, maybe she'll be back. And we know she'll be back in Sailor Moon S if they continue on with it. Sailor Moon Infinity, whatever they're going to call it. Still don't think it'll be Crystal. It'll be kind of dumb if they call it Crystal 2, but we'll see. Anyway, that's it for now, everybody. Don't forget to check out my radio show, which starts the new music again every Sunday from 2 to 4 p.m. Pacific Time on 92.5 FM in Kamloops or www.dx.ca. You can check out my videos from my performance at Canada Day at Riverside Park. Just check out my video playlist thingy. And I will see you guys next time. Jamatane mina. Have a great day. Or a great night. Bye-bye.